Howdy. Welcome to Dillard's Posse, a podcast where my partners and I take a deep dive into some of the most random and zaniest people and oddities. I'm your host, Dillard, and I'm accompanied by my good friends, Trey and Nicholas. Please introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Nicholas. You're really funny. No, I'm Nicholas. That idiot is Trey. I'm Trey. Hello.
So today on this podcast, we are going to be discussing the infamous and legendary actor Brendan Fraser. And in this podcast, we will be voting at the end whether or not Brendan Fraser is cool or if he's a fool. So what was your guys' first introduction to Brendan Fraser?
Well, I'm sure everyone has the same introduction to Brendan Fraser, especially among our age group, which is usually his most famous movie, which he himself constantly brings up, which is The Mummy. Other than that, as a kid, I have seen the George of the Jungle movie, so there is that.
Yes. Dre?
For me, I've never seen The Mummy, and I probably never will. The only thing about The Mummy I know is CGI, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I've seen the ending of George of the Jungle, where he was super ripped, and then also that guy makes out with the monkey at the end.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen both of those movies, but I would say the same thing. I remember when I was a kid, The Mummy was one of my favorite movies as a kid, just because it was. I loved the action, and I liked Brendan Fraser, and I thought he was a very charismatic lead actor in the movie, and so I like those. I like George of the Jungle, of course. That was one of my favorite movies as well as a kid, and Looney Tunes Back in Action. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes, that is a classic. I would say that's a classic Brendan Fraser film. Let's see what else. What else has he been in that I've seen? I remember he was in the movie called Inkheart, based off a book.
He was in Scrubs, and I think he's in some weird Texas TV show. If you there's some video of him on the internet wearing a Texas getup. He's like, "What are you doing this Sunday?" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the only show he's been in recently, and
Oh,
he looks pretty good. He looks better than he did 10 years ago.
yeah. No, he's actually on. I know what you're talking about. It's called Texas Rising or something like that. It's based on the Alamo, I think, is what it's based on. And he plays he looks Native American in it or something, because he has the Native American pigtail braids. And I actually read something about that. Yeah. I actually read something about that, and he took his horse from the set of that show and started a ranch now. He lives out on a ranch and is a cowboy. So I thought that was also kind of fitting for the theme of this podcast. So he's also in that DC show too, Doom Patrol, where he plays a character named Robot Man. I guess people say he's the best part of the show. I've never seen it, but I'm trying to think of what else he also was in. Yeah, he was in Scrubs. I remember that. It's actually really tragic. He's only in it a few episodes, but he ends up dying of cancer in Scrubs. I forgot about that. What else? We're forgetting something else. What wasn't
Furry Vengeance?
Oh yeah, how could we forget about that? Furry Vengeance.
I barely remember that movie. It's such a weird. It's a very 2000s movie.
Yeah.
Guys forget Deadly Do Right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Deadly Do Right.
He's a Mountie, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In Canada.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen the picture. Old Canadian cartoon, I think.
Yeah.
Completely wrong.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, he was in that. Yeah, I don't know how we forgot about Furry Vengeance.
I think everyone forgot about Furry Vengeance.
Furry Vengeance. Yeah, I hadn't seen it like I'd seen the memes and stuff about it. I had never seen it like when I was a kid, but I remember Nicholas and I went over to Blake's house like last year and we watched it. That was the first time I had seen it, and it is truly like a spectacle of cinema to watch. Really.
I always remember the part where he walks in the sweatpants that say "Yum Yum." It's fucking. It has to be the most traumatizing thing to witness in a movie.
Yeah. Do you remember like when he's wearing his wife's yeah, like what you said, he's wearing his wife's
Yeah, like the workout sweats.
yeah, the workout sweats, and he walks outside and there's that like old man construction worker taking a picture of his butt with the flip phone.
like all the workers outside are like literally like glaring at him, and I think one of them even like does like a whistle towards him.
Yeah. Okay. This I can maybe put this in the later part of the podcast, but I remember Blake told me this, and I don't know if this is true. You might have to look this up, Nicholas. But Blake told me that apparently, like Brendan Fraser was supposed to like do more mummy movies after like a contract to do 3 or 4 after, and instead he signed on for a contract for Furry Vengeance sequels instead because he thought that they were gonna like those movies were going to take off and become their own cinematic universe or something, and obviously not because it flopped so hard. But I've always wondered if that's actually true.
Oh, wait, what's true? What movie was he gonna do?
Blake told me that like he was supposed to so like he was going to sign on to do like 3 or 4 other mummy movies after the third one. That they offered him a contract, and instead he chose to sign a contract for Furry Vengeance sequels instead, and they never even made Furry Vengeance sequels because it was so bad.
I actually have an insider at Disney, and I'm not going to say their real name, so I'm going to use like a fake name. Their name is Dalt Wisney, and they told me that he was originally supposed to be Iron Man in the Marvel universe.
That doesn't even what? That doesn't even have any relevance.
No, Brendan Fraser was supposed to be Iron Man because like it was when he was down, so they just wanted someone who's been like down the dumps, and Robert Downey Jr. was like going through all that shit. Brendan Fraser was too, so they wanted him to be Iron Man.
Oh my god!
I feel like there's an alternate universe where Brendan Fraser is Iron Man, or he's at least like Thanos or Captain Marvel, one or the other.
Well, I was gonna say something to segue off of that. Oh yeah, I remember I saw like a thing that said like it was like a what if the Avengers was made in the '90s, and Brendan Fraser was they like chose him to play Star-Lord if it was like made in the '90s, and I could actually see that.
Oh my god, I can fucking see that. Mostly because like the Mummy, he kind of has like the rogue, like almost Indiana Jones looking at. I don't know. I've never fucking seen the Mummy. I just know it just looks like how everyone dresses in every desert movie.
Yeah, he does. He also has like the comedic, like quippy chops. I think that would be good for Star-Lord. I think. But yeah, I guess we'll segue into this really quick. So, when I went to art school in Seattle, Cornish, I knew this when my mom and I went to go visit it. But apparently, Brendan Fraser went to school there for acting, and it was before I decided that I was going to go there. I was just visiting. But when I did end up going there, I remember some of the guys that like I was friends with like found out that he was an alumni there, or like he at least went there for a brief period of time. And for some reason, like the school would not like put that in any of their reputable alumni. Like they just like totally forgot about Brendan Fraser, which I thought was really funny. But that's just weird. I don't know why they would. He was literally the biggest star like in the world at one point, and now he's no one.
Yeah, especially like that late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I doubt that he went to Cornish like after those movies came out. He probably went before in the early '90s and stuff. I don't. Where's he from?
I think I already like saw this. He's was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah.
Wow, I just wonder why he
was born December 3rd, 1968. In Indiana, so.
Wow.
Seems like he's from Indiana.
Indiana, okay. Yeah, that's just weird that he went. I guess I did the same thing, but yeah, he went all the way to the other end of the country to go to school. But
I mean, people do that. Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's as crazy. You know,
yeah,
like
I
people
guess.
do it all the time.
Yeah, you kind of have to go to the West Coast if you want to be an actor, I guess, or New York. But uh, I would love to see like what it was like to be a fellow actor in class with Brendan Fraser, and then watching him perform. That would be so interesting. He is a truly remarkable actor. He's a very slept on. People don't even remember him. I think that's the crazy thing is people don't even remember Brendan Fraser when you say it now.
You say that, but I constantly forget that they made a Tom Cruise movie
Oh
as
fuck! I totally
his
forgot that
character in
too.
the Mummy. I completely forget about that all the time. Because when I
The,
hear the movie The Mummy, I think, oh, it's Brendan Fraser, not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Um, I remember that like around that time when the Mummy movie came out with Tom Cruise. That was like when we were in high. That was when we were in high school, and that like rekindled the whole like Brendan Fraser like how we remembered him. I remember because Blake brought him up, and I was like, dude, I totally forgot about Brendan Fraser. And then there's the memes and stuff about Brendan Fraser, which we'll get into that later. But I read something that like the reason why they didn't ask Brendan Fraser to come back was because like his physical shape and how he looked, and because before he was old and gained weight. And apparently, like the director, I don't know if it's the same director from the original movies. I'm pretty sure it is, or at least he produced it or something. He had something to do with it because it's I'm pretty sure it's Yeah, it's a Universal property. But the original director said that like Brendan Fraser caused him so much mental turmoil that he didn't ask him to come back to reprise his role.
what does that mean? Did he say what that means?
No, he didn't say
He just
why.
said he caused some fucking mental.
Yeah, mental
Oh
turmoil.
Brendan Fraser scarred me for life.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because Brendan Fraser, if you watch interviews with him, seems like the nicest guy ever. Like he just seems like a normal dude, not like you watch interviews with like some other celebrities and they're really full of themselves. He seems really humble. I just wonder what the mental turmoil that he caused the director. um, let's see.
He did the Jared Leto thing. He pulled pranks on set. He put dead birds in other people's like shoes or some shit.
For Suicide Squad.
Yeah, because I have another insider from what is it, WB Warner Brothers, that he was originally supposed to play the Joker in the second Batman movie.
In Dark Knight?
Yeah, I have my insider source said that.
Dude, can you imagine what that movie would have been like, Dark Knight, if it wasn't Heath Ledger as Joker as Brendan Fraser? Dude, that would be so weird.
He probably tried to put a joke into it, so whenever he's like walking away from the hospital before it explodes, he'd like trip or something. He wouldn't do that. You wanna know how I got these scars? I used those frozen popsicles I'd have as a kid. You know, the ones in the fucking plastic containers.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck up in your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, man. That would be... Could you imagine him with his, like... Because, like, right around that time is when he started losing his hair, too. So he'd have, like, this terrible, like, receded hairline, like, fringy green hair. That would look so weird for the Joker. And he was, obviously didn't really look like him, but... Just seeing him with the Joker makeup on too would probably frighten me. It would be pretty scary.
It looked like Creed from The Office whenever he dresses up as the Joker.
As the Joker.
In that one episode.
Yeah. Because I feel like he would. You're right. If he was the Joker, he would probably make a lot of like corny jokes. Like he wouldn't take it as seriously, unless like Brendan Fraser like decided to method act and like channel all the travesties that have happened in his life to portray the Joker, which I think would be hilarious, but also really good too if he did that. I guess they kind of did that in that Doom Patrol show too. I was reading about it, and like he plays like he was a race car driver with a mullet, and his wife like cheats on him with one of the pit crew guys or something like that, and he ends up getting divorced. And I read somewhere that he channeled his own divorce and like incorporated that with the character. I don't know, but that's what I was going to talk about next. This is one of the reasons why I think Brendan Fraser fell off the face of the earth was the whole divorce and alimony thing. Um, do you remember when? Do you guys remember like hearing about this, like the divorce and alimony thing?
The only thing I know is the memes you guys would talk about. That's literally the only thing I know about it, and he pays an ungodly amount of money for alimony.
I know little about it, which was one of the main things was that like apparently like from like what he like his own words and like other sources apparently only think like the reason why she even married him and had children with him was to divorce him later on.
I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, from what I've gathered and read online, like she does not sound like a nice person at all. Like very evil woman. Like, let's see, what did I read? I was reading on a couple days ago on articles, but it was like, yeah, he pays $900,000 in alimony a year.
900,000.
Yes, $900,000 a year.
Like, those must be like gold fucking diapers for that child. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, well, he had 3 children with her, and I think one of them is disabled in some way, but I'm not entirely sure. I think I read that in the article, but $900,000 a year, and he ended up like giving up his house too, and she took the house, all the kids too. He barely sees his kids. But yeah, it was somewhere around. I read the article said that he pays around 50,000 like per month in alimony, and then extended charges. I don't know exactly what it was, but that is just insane. Like you do not need $900,000 to live comfortably after a divorce. That is insane.
Like 900,000 total, or like
a year?
No, a year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's annually.
$900,000 a year. I mean, that would drive anyone like away. Like, understandably, like all those pictures of him where he just looks miserable and awful. Yeah, that will definitely do it to someone.
It almost sounds like the plot of Furry Vengeance 2.
Yeah, they should
like the animals fuck up his life so bad he gets in a divorce. He goes crazy.
He's paying
$900,000. The Mummy, that's what it is.
Yeah, isn't that the title of the second one, or it's something like that, like The Mummy 2?
I've never seen Mummy 2. Like I said, the only thing I know about The Mummy is that like I would go on Instagram sometimes and people would post like thirst pictures of old Brendan Fraser and then CGI The Rock.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he apparently almost died filming The Mummy. Like the first scene, or like one of the first few scenes of the movie, he's like hung by the. I can't remember who hangs him. It's like the town he's in. He's in Egypt somewhere, and he's hung, and like he actually did the stunt for it, and he died for like 5 seconds or something like that. I think he hurt his neck or something, and they had to like bring him back to life. But
yeah,
did you read about that, Nicholas?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like a prop expert. You couldn't just like tape the pieces of rope together, you know? So if he fell and just ripped the tape.
And I think maybe that someone on crew like hated Brendan Fraser or something, and they like actually wanted to kill him before the movie started.
It was his wife.
Yeah, he said he stopped breathing. It doesn't specify how long he did, but he needed resuscitation. So.
Oh my god.
If he needed resuscitation, yeah, he like literally had all the wind choked out of him.
Jeez, yeah, and yeah, maybe it was the director because he was causing a mental turmoil.
They may have just kept that shot too, because if you go look at like the image of him from that movie, the hanging part, which now I remember clearly, like he legitimately looks like he's like joking.
Yeah, I remember that from the movie. Yeah, because his face is like really flushed and he looks awful. He has really long hair too.
It's like the scene from Lord of the Rings where he kicks the helmet and breaks his toe. It's like there's another scene. It's in like Django Unchained where Leonardo DiCaprio like crushes the glass, and he actually broke the fucking real glass and got his like hand cut up and needed like stitches and shit.
Yeah. So we can say that, yeah, because everyone always says that like the Leonardo DiCaprio is like the best method actor, but are they as cool as Brendan Fraser. I mean, Brendan Fraser
They
was
almost
fucking dying.
died for their craft.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser almost fucking died. Yeah, imagine that. Almost fucking dying. And it's literally like the first scene in the movie too. It's not even like he didn't even finish the rest of the movie. He was so dedicated to it. He's like, I'm going to actually die here, to make this scene look real.
I don't think he purposely did it. I think he's like, oh fuck. I think like probably when the scene started, they started rolling. He's like, shit. I think I need to let someone know this shit's actually choking me.
Fuck, I'm actually dying.
Actual news.
I'm actually fucking dying right now.
Are you an angel? From another amazing movie that I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what that movie is either. I know it's Tommy Lee Jones. And we saw it. Nicholas Blake and I saw that in a trailer for some Nicolas Cage DVD that we watched. Yeah. Anyway, okay. But yeah, okay. So I guess we'll get into the memes now. I like very fondly remember this when we were in high school and Blake showed us the Just meme. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel like we were in Mr. Morgan's class when he brought that up, weren't we?
I have no idea. I thought it was in English or computer class.
Was it Nicholas?
If I recall correctly, when he showed it to me, I think it was in history class, and I think what it was is because I didn't take computer class with you guys. I had what class? I had human anatomy, and you guys had computer class. So what happened was he showed you guys that meme, and then we had history right after both those classes. And then he literally, as Mr. Morgan was like speaking about something, he just like goes, Nicholas, look at this, and he just shows me that picture, and I couldn't help but like laugh. So I laughed in the middle of history class while Mr. Morgan was talking about like I don't know if it was history or if it was geography. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like ended up laughing like out loud in the middle of class because he showed me that picture.
I was in like disbelief when he showed me that. Like I knew it was obviously a Photoshop picture, and for those of you who don't know, it's the meme is called "Just Fuck My Shit Up," and it's a picture taken from like some sort of like movie press or something. It's Brendan Fraser, and he's making this like horrible face at the camera. He just looks like shit in the picture, just absolutely terrible, like just defeated. And
I think it got photoshopped though. They photoshopped it a lot.
So yeah,
it's exactly like there's this one picture about like some barber or something who has the most fucked up hair ever in an advertisement, and they photoshopped that hair onto him.
Yeah, it's that Dr. Giovanni or something like that. Blake and I found his Facebook, and then like there's a message between someone else, and he's like, "Stop using my hair on Brendan Fraser." It's like, "Stop making fun of my hair," and stuff like that. That's really funny. My hair is perfect. But yeah, I'm probably gonna use that in the thumbnail. I thought of like for the thumbnail for the video, we'll take like like an actual picture of Brendan Fraser and then split down the middle. There'll be the Just picture right next to it. I thought about doing that.
God. You get a picture of X and then put Brendan Fraser on X.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I remember like yeah, it was like something on like 4chan, and Blake was showing it to us. Yeah, in history class, and I mean we just became. I know I did. I mean, you guys did too. But dude, I thought that was like the funniest thing ever. The Just meme. So we were obsessed, and we were obsessed to the point into where we were in business law. And remember, we changed all of our desktops to that picture of Brendan Fraser screaming in the porta potty. Do you remember
that? Yeah.
And Miss Kogan got like mad at us because we were laughing, and she said that she was like, "I used to date a guy that looked like that." Do you remember
that? I remember that. That's fun.
I remember also. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, but now I looked at like an Instagram account of Brendan Fraser. He looks pretty good. He looks like a parent's like distant cousin that you would see like once a year around Christmas.
Yeah, he does.
He'd always like try to do card tricks or some shit. Like that's what he looks like.
Yeah, we'll talk about his redemption here in a little bit because he's making a comeback. I know he is.
I mean that meme, like I'm almost certain that it started like a movie to because everyone was like, what happened to, because they never saw anything like after the One Mummy movie, or like Furry Vengeance or all the other no, it was like directly after Journey to the Center of the Earth. Like his career pretty much just went away, and I'm pretty sure that meme, when that meme started up, like it's like also started like people like trying to figure out like what happened to him, like what happened to his like career.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I remember that because the hashtag on Twitter was "Don't eraser the Fraser."
So maybe that meme had like an actual impact on his like career.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like even like all jokes aside, I think the meme is like pretty lighthearted and people actually care about Brendan Fraser because if you look into all the comments of it, people are like on YouTube and stuff of the meme videos, they're all like we need to help him. He needs to be protected at all costs. The uh, he is the greatest actor ever. No, I don't think he's the greatest, but I think I think he's definitely in my top five. I would say just because he's so unique. Uh, I wish Blake was here because Blake has seen a bunch of Brendan Fraser movies. He told me about one that he saw where like uh, Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi are like all in a band, and they're trying to record. Yeah, did he tell you about that?
No.
Yeah, they're all in a band together, and they're trying to record at this studio, and they won't let them, so they decide to hold the recording place hostage with guns.
You're fucking lying.
I swear to you.
No, I remember that because I saw a picture of it's like a picture of Brendan Fraser like holding like an Uzi, and he has like long like almost dreadlock like hair, and it was like I saw that picture and I was like, what in the fuck? Like I had no idea what it was from. It was like I was like so confused by it because I'm like picturing like every other movie he's been in, and then I see that one, it just seems like out of his like typical like character to play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember seeing the meme on Instagram. It was like a picture of all of them, like Adam Sandler, Brendan Fraser, and Steve Buscemi in the movie with their instruments, and it said like "Remember Nirvana?" question mark or something like that. I thought that was really funny. Uh, yeah, that
You
on.
know,
Well, go ahead.
well, I was just going to say another movie. I'm actually looking up stuff about Brendan Fraser right now because I was like, okay, I wanted to see what he was doing. I totally fucking forgot he was in this movie, but remember he was the lead voice actor in The Nut Job, and he was also in
We
this
also
like
talked about
the Escape from Planet Earth movie, and there's some movie that came out in like 2019 called The Line of Descent, and I'm looking at it right now. He looks like a just from the picture on the front looks like a John Wick type movie.
Oh, dude, now let me tell you about this. Well, first off, I think that movie is called Airheads, the one we're talking about with the where they hold up the recording studio. Isn't it called Airheads?
I'm looking at his movies right now. I haven't seen anything yet though.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay.
Because I think I looked it up. I literally Googled, I think, Brendan Fraser with an Uzi. And
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
the movie that comes up.
Well, that whole like plot just I remember when Blake told me that plot just seems like something that like we would make up like as a joke or something. Like, oh, that'd be so funny if that was actually a movie, and it actually is a movie. Um, I was gonna tell you, there's another movie. I remember like we were all hanging out one time, and I almost bought this movie to watch it, but we didn't. I watched it with my girlfriend yesterday or a couple days ago. It's called Extraordinary Measures. Do you guys remember that one?
No, no, I don't think so.
Okay, so it's Brendan Fraser has these like two children who are twins, I think, and they have some sort of genetic disease, and he's trying to get a doctor to like fix it or whatever.
Oh my!
And it's Harrison
I
Ford.
remember you talking about it. Yeah, do you know you put it on one time when we were hanging out, and we watched it for like 10 minutes, and we both collectively agreed that we would just watch the third Mummy movie, and we watched that for 10 minutes and decided we weren't going to watch anything because they were both the first like 10 minutes of both films were so boring that we literally just had like no will to watch anything else after. I literally can't remember like anything after that point. Was like after we turned it off the third Mummy movie, you were like, yeah, we're done.
Dude, I have to tell you guys about it because I watched it. Because it sounds like the Jaws Reloaded series that I wrote back in high school. Because Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford are both in it. So it's so weird seeing them on screen together, and they have no chemistry at all on screen together. I'm just gonna say that now. They have absolutely no chemistry. You can tell Harrison Ford just does not want to be there. He's a fucking asshole the whole movie, and it's like he's a researcher. He's a doctor, like a scientist researcher, and he does like they don't even have a cure for this disease. So they're like Brendan Fraser puts all of his money in to Harrison Ford's research that hasn't even been tested to save his children. And like, dude, there is just so many bad scenes in it. Like the daughter almost dies right at the beginning of the movie, and Brendan Fraser and his wife are talking to the doctor afterwards, and the doctor gives the most like non-sympathetic talk to Brendan Fraser and his wife about their child who almost died. He's like, yeah, I think things aren't looking good. He's like, but maybe if she dies, it'll be a miracle or something like that. And it can't like cuts to
another child. Well, I'm not going to explain that.
Yeah, that was just bizarre. Like, why no doctor would ever say that to like a family that's like grieving over someone in the hospital. They're like, oh, maybe it's a miracle that they die. Like, and Brendan Fraser gets really pissed about it.
God, I hope that bitch dies.
Well, guys, I think I have a theory, okay? Some insider sources in Hollywood told me this. And I think that's supposed to be referencing Brendan Fraser's dying career in 2010. And maybe it's good because he never became one of the Hollywood elites. So it could turn out to be a good thing. Think about that one.
If that is true, then that would be like one of the most meta films ever. If they did that, I seriously doubt it. Dude, there's so many other bad scenes in it. Like the scene where Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford meet for the first time. They're drinking in a bar, and dude, it is just it's the worst dialogue I've ever seen in a movie. Like the cuts are weird. What they say to each other is so unnatural. It's like a Hallmark movie, really. But worse. It's worse than a Hallmark movie. It's like a Hallmark movie starring two like pretty good actors, but like they suck in it.
I don't even feel like Harrison Ford ever wants to do a movie ever again. Then we have Brendan Fraser, who's very desperately trying to do a movie. So I assume the chemistry wouldn't be good there.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford's like, who the fuck are you? Where am I?
The duality of man. Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because that is probably why they didn't have any chemistry. Because Brendan Fraser was probably like, "This is all I have going for me to pay off my $900,000 in alimony," and Harrison Ford's like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm a fucking millionaire." You know.
Fuck you! I'm gonna go do this movie about a dog.
Call of the Wild, wasn't that it?
I don't fucking know. I mean, oh fuck, I'm gonna go hang out with fucking Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, for Blade Runner. Yeah,
I've never fucking seen Blade Runner.
This is a side note. Remember when Blake said that like, I can't remember what it was. It was like some guy was going to a convention or something and filming it, and they like interviewed Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford like only said one thing. He's like, I'd fly all over the West Coast to find a good fucking cheeseburger.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I'll probably cut that part out, but yeah, that the whole basically the whole movie was just like Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford like arguing with each other, yelling at each other, and there was one part I kept telling my girlfriend, I was like, dude, they're about to make out right now. and like Brendan Fraser is like, he has a cut on his hand and he's washing it out, and like Harrison Ford like comes up from behind him like with his hand on his waist, and like he's like, here, let me help you with that, and let me do it. And Brendan Fraser's like, oh no, I got it, I can do it. And Harrison Ford says, so he's like, oh, we're gonna kiss right now.
It's like you take a girl to go play fucking golf.
Yeah, that would be so funny if they did that.
Starts helping him. Cross his arms. Too much,
You know, it'd be better the Lighthouse, but with those two.
Oh my
Instead of
God.
Robert Hallerson and William Dafoe, it would be those two people.
Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford, dude. That would
You
be.
don't like my cooking?
I'm trying to find a cheeseburger on the West Coast. I'm a cheeseburger fanatic.
We're on a fucking island with a lighthouse. Where the fuck you can find a cheeseburger?
Is there anything else that you guys want to mention about Brendan Fraser? Because I'm going to talk about the future projects and then the prom picture, and then we'll vote on it.
I don't care.
We can talk about something.
Oh, go ahead.
Something that's a little upsetting, which is like his sexual assault story.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Yeah, so you can go ahead and start that off, Nicholas. You can start that segment off.
Well, apparently back in like I can't remember the year, but during one of the filmings of one of his movies, I can't like remember which one it is, but he later on he like told people that like he was sexually assaulted by like the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. I can't remember the guy's name, but he describes it, and the way he describes it, like it's just kind of like he mentions that like I felt ill. Like reading it is kind of just sick. Because he describes the guy as like he would constantly like pinch him on like his butt, literally start groping him, and even talks about like stuff apart, like putting a finger like in his taint. It's just it gets so bad.
Oh my God.
But the weird part is that the guy that he said like he sexually assaulted me. The guy still, I'm pretty sure the guy like denied it, but sent Brendan Fraser like an apology letter, like at the same time or something.
Sorry if I accidentally groped you. Probably something like that. I need to. Yeah, I should probably segue into like why, or to bring that up. Yeah, so I'll just say something like. Another reason why I think Brendan Fraser is forgotten about is this like he was part of the Me Too movement or something. And I'll let Nicholas describe it. He has it pulled up. Okay, and then I'll cut that. I'll cut it together like that.
That also contributes to like his like entire like disappearance pretty much from acting like after 2008. Because he himself like mentions that like the alimony like definitely hurt him, but like he was dealing like with health problems, and I guess mental health problems apparently from that as well.
I would imagine, yeah, if he's paying $900,000 a year in alimony and he's being groped by Hollywood people.
Sexually assaulted by a fucking president of the fucking foreign press.
Yeah, dude. He like really is like the world's most just man. Let me type this in really quick. Okay, so we'll talk about his future projects. So I'll start it then. Yeah, so I guess like I was looking through like a Instagram film page that I get on a lot, and I guess it was announced that Darren Aronofsky, who did Requiem for a Dream, is making a new movie called The Whale, and it centers on Brendan Fraser. He's the main character, and Brendan Fraser is playing a 600-pound man trying to eat himself to death, and he's also gay.
What?
Yes, I'm not joking. Yeah, that is a real. I know
it's
that.
A Nikocado avocado documentary.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
We're laughing at that. That movie's probably gonna be depressing as fuck.
Oh yeah, I know it is because I know that they like somewhere in the article said that like Brendan Fraser is like seriously going to like try his hardest and method act for this movie. So I hope he doesn't really gain 600 pounds. That would be he could possibly die from that.
He'd probably just like do a Nutty Professor and just like put on a fat suit.
Nutty Professor, it's a classic. But yeah, so I guess he's gonna be doing that. I hope that is his like redemption for getting back into acting. Because I do miss Brendan Fraser on the screen. He used to be a household name, and now he's nobody now. He's just everyone has forgotten about him. He's lived a very depressing life because of what is all the unfortunate things that have happened to him. When I was like collecting stuff to talk about for him, I'd forgotten about this, and these are kind of like stories, I guess, from about Brendan Fraser, like that involve us. But do you remember the prom picture?
I don't remember anything about that.
You can remind me if you want.
No, yeah. So yeah, you can go ahead and you tell it, Nicholas.
Because this was during our junior prom. Like when we had to set it up, and they had like almost like a laptop hooked up to a projector, and the projector was just showing like different pictures that you would send. I can't remember if it was through Instagram or something, but they made like an account that they made an account that would flip through like recently uploaded pictures. So someone, I don't know who, Dylan, that it'd be a great idea to put the picture and send it to the account, and then the next thing you know is his face and it was a massive projected screen. His face is literally propped up onto the fucking screen for everyone to see. A bunch of people start laughing. I think Miss Kogan shouts, "Does he go here?" The not the projector off, but they disconnected the laptop after that. Yeah. I can't remember. I remember they like someone went over there and it was like disconnected, and they were on Google Chrome, so they were playing the stupid disconnected like dinosaur game that you jump over like a cactus.
Yeah, I remember that. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that wasn't cringy at all. But yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure that's what got taken. Like it was only one. I'm pretty sure she even mentioned this at the beginning of prom. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have this. If anyone like tries to do something with it, it's gonna get taken down. You're gonna ruin it for everyone. But that literally like was the best part of it. Was that one picture? It was massive. It was just like insanely big for everyone to see during that. And I'm almost certain. I can't remember like what song was playing, but I'm almost certain it was like a slow dance song too when it happened.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I remember that. Yep, I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing this stupid like slow dance, and the next thing you just look up and you see his face.
Yeah. They're playing like a country song.
Yeah, or what? Yeah, I can't.
I mean, it's just generic high school slow dance.
I just remembered the picture coming up.
Yeah, and for those who don't know what picture we're talking about the just fuck my shit up picture of Brendan Fraser. It wasn't even like an actual picture of Brendan Fraser. It was the meme. It was just him with the blue background with the red eyes and the spiky hair. And that was hilarious. And they had to have known that like someone was going to do that, was going to log into it and post something else. Because I remember like the whole feed was just like people taking pictures at the dance. No one did anything else. I don't know why anyone else didn't come up with this idea, but
they did, but no one was stupid enough to do it.
Like us, yeah. I'm pretty. I know that I think it was me. I'm pretty sure it was me. I can't remember exactly because we were all talking about it. I just can't remember who actually did it. I'm pretty sure it was me, but I just remember slow dancing with my date, and I thought that was so funny. Like I didn't even like pay attention. Like, to them, really.
To the date, you're like, oh,
yeah.
Brendan Fraser will do.
Oh, look, Brendan Fraser's at our prom. Yeah, that was so funny.
And dude, when that happened, Brendan Fraser should have walked through the doors in a dress and be like, Dylan, I'm here. I've been waiting for this time for a long time.
Oh, dude, I would accept. I would slow dance with Brendan Fraser to that. That'd be hilarious. But I was also going to talk about, do you remember all the history class stories about Brendan Fraser?
Oh, my God. Yes, I remember one specifically.
Please tell it.
Saying it was the one you told during history class. Our teacher would ask people like current things in the news. So Dylan thought it would be a great idea to just lie. So his idea was, I'm just going to tell random stories about Brendan Fraser being fucking homeless. and I think the first 2 times like he said this, our professor or our teacher like literally believed like what he was saying was true, because the first he just started out with this famous actor Brendan Fraser, like he lives on the streets now. It's like whatever. But the one story I remember specifically was that something about like Brendan Fraser fighting over I almost want to say it was like a cheeseburger like with like a couple of pigeons.
No,
I think the big one he's talking about is when Brendan Fraser was in, I think it was the Gulf of Mexico, trying to search for Atlantis on a raft.
The one was actually more believable, because that one just makes no sense.
Okay, no, I remember them. So let me tell them. I remember them exactly, and it was not. I was against my will to do some of them, because Blake sat behind me, and Blake would beg me. He's like, "Dude, please say this for the current news. Please say this." Do you remember that? He would always ask me to do it.
Say it. Just say it.
Yeah, yeah. He would do that. And then right after I do it, he'd be like, "Dude, what the fuck? Why did you do that?"
Every time you go, why would you say that?
Okay, so here's the stories that I told. I remember I only remember 2 of them. I remember I did say he was homeless and like living in a cardboard box, but one of the stories that I told our teacher was that Brendan Fraser was like recently spotted at a children's birthday party that was outdoors in a park, and they had like inflatables and stuff, and Brendan Fraser was caught sleeping on the inflatable. It scared all the children, so the parents kicked him out, and he ended up like stealing a piece of the birthday cake and running away because he was so hungry. And I remember our teacher was like, "Well, that's weird. What's wrong with that guy?" or something like that. But the other one that Trey was referring to, I don't even know, like, why. Do you think that Mr. Morgan believed these or not?
I think he thought you were stupid.
I think he believed some of them. This one that I'm about to tell is a little bit of a stretch. So it was his last day too. I remember teaching, but I told him this for current news, and it was Brendan Fraser was spotted on like the Gulf of Mexico. He swam in the Gulf of Mexico too. There wasn't even a raft. He swam in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and was taking like 5 feet like dives down underwater, looking for Atlantis. And like a group of fishermen came by and like offered to save him, but he refused to unless the Shinedown came and played like a show on a raft for him out in the middle of the water. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
sadly.
Yeah, that would be the greatest thing if that actually ever happened. Oh man, this Brendan Fraser, like, there's like a helicopter like shining a spotlight down, and you just see Brendan Fraser like treading water, and you see Shinedown playing like a Second Chance on their raft. That'd be so funny.
You need to next episode discuss your story.
What story?
Do an analysis on Jaws Reloaded.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I think
analysis on Jaws Reloaded.
Yeah,
you're not talk about CPLA.
Yeah, well, we need to get. We should talk about both those. We need to get Blake on this so he can have something else to say as well. So yeah, I guess this will probably wrap up this episode, and we're gonna vote on whether or not, after everything we've said, whether or not Brendan Fraser, is he cool or is he a fool? So, who thinks he's cool?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. I think he's cool, and everything that bad happened. The only reason that would make him a fool is literally because he got dealt shit hands in life. I don't think he was the main perpetrator behind anything that happened to him that was negative. So I will say he's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't cause his own downfall, so my vote would also be cool.
Yeah.
Also, if you go to his official website, which is brendanfraser.com, hasn't been updated since 2005, and And it doesn't really even fit on the page, but it's still a pretty cool website. So yeah, my vote is cool.
And I will agree. I think Brendan Fraser is definitely cool. He is the yeah. We've been recently playing Quiplash with my girlfriend and her friends, and every single prompt on there, I'll somehow include Brendan Fraser in there, and someone will always be like, "Who the fuck is Brendan Fraser?" And I always think that's so funny. Um, yeah, there's always a few people, and I have to explain to him. I'm like, yeah, he was in the Mummy and George of the Jungle and stuff like that. Did you guys ever see that one meme where he's like wishing someone a happy birthday over text? He's like, "Hey Drew, it's Brendan Fraser
Yeah.
from George of the Jungle. Just want to wish you a happy birthday." And the guy's like, "Thanks, but it's not my birthday." And the next text just says, "I was also in Mummy." Yeah, but
See, he's so nice.
he is, yeah. He's a very humble actor, and I think that he's going to, in the future, redeem himself from being the leper of Hollywood. So that's three votes for that he is cool. So that automatically means that he is officially cool. He is not a
And
fool.
not a fool.
Yes, not a fool. So uh, I guess we haven't really talked about it, but I assume that we'll try to do an episode, at least one every week or week and a half on, either a certain person or a topic or something. And anyone listening to it, you can just DM me and I'll tell them about it, and we'll find something to discuss about it in a future episode. So, is there any other closing things that you gentlemen would like to say?
Oh, besides Brendan Fraser is probably the yeah, like you said earlier, the leper of Hollywood. Pretty amazing person.
Nicholas, do you have anything else you want to say?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. Well, that wraps it up.